What's happening, guys and girls? Acrinator here, and welcome to another episode of World of Warcraft Dungeon Overview. Today we'll be continuing through Auchindoun, specifically running through Sethekk halls. I'll be guiding you through it with my hunter you see here, so with that being said, let's dive straight into it. As you may recall from the previous episodes out of this hub, Auchindoun was once hallowed ground for the Draenei. They used the massive structure as a mausoleum for their honored dead, and cherished it as one of their most sacred temples in all of Draenor. Once the orcs fell under the influence of the Burning Legion and attacked the Draenei, Auchindoun was soon destroyed violently, leaving only a giant crater in the ground. Now, there are many factions that occupy these once sacred halls, and all are dangerous in their own unique way. After the destruction of Talador, leaving behind the Bone Wastes, many of the Arakkoan living in the surrounding area took the event as a sign that their master Sethekk had returned. Since then, they have taken to the tunnels of Auchindoun's eastern wing to prepare for the arrival of their malevolent deity. Sethekk Halls is a level 65 to 73 dungeon with a level 70 heroic mode located in the eastern portion of Auchindoun in southern Terakar Forest. Just like with the previous dungeons in this hub, the entrance shouldn't be too hard to find once you make your way down to the ground level. Just head to the east and you should see a room leading to the dungeon entrance. You can make extra sure because the room just outside the entrance should also be named Sethekk Halls. Sith is an Arakkoan dark shaman who has been charged by Ickis to guard the halls from any intruders as he prepares the ritual to fully bring Sethekk back into the shattered world of Outland. The only notable thing about this fight is that Sith will summon 4 elemental servants to assist him when he reaches 90, 55, and 15% remaining health. Just AoE the adds down and you should be fine. Anzu is a shadowy deity worshipped by only some of the most savage of Arakkoan, to which much of this mysterious being is unknown to those outside of his cult of followers. Quick side note, I know that Anzu also shows up in Warlords of Draenor, but we don't know how much of that backstory transfers over to the original timeline, so for now it's just safer to assume that they're not the same and move on. Anzu is a boss that only shows up in the heroic mode, so don't bother going to look for him if you're in normal. Also, this boss has a chance to drop one of, if not the rarest mount in the game, so that's something to keep your fingers crossed for. Despite the first boss encounter for this dungeon being pretty lame, Sethekk Halls is actually one of the harder dungeons in the entire expansion, so get ready for some shit. Anzu will cast Spell Bomb on players, damaging them and draining their mana every time they cast a spell, so be sure to look out for that so you don't kill yourself. At 35 and 75% health, Anzu will cast Brood of Anzu, making himself invulnerable to damage for 1 minute or until all of the ads he summoned are killed, whichever comes first. The real kicker is that the boss can cast abilities while invulnerable, so be sure to take out the ads ASAP, otherwise you'll die a slow and painful death at the hands of an overgrown chicken. Ickis is the leader of the cult of Arakkoan that abandoned their veil in the forest for the halls of Auchindoun. They left because Ickis received visions, supposedly from Sethekk himself, during his sleep that they were needed to perform a summoning ritual there. Once amidst the cursed halls of the former mausoleum, the visions intensified tenfold until Ickis was finally driven mad. Now he believes that he is Sethekk incarnate. Spoiler alert, he's not. Either way, we have to take him out in order to clear out yet another wing of this once sacred temple. Ickis is probably one of the most obnoxious dungeon bosses in the entire Burning Crusade because of how cruel he can be at times. At 80, 50, and 25% health, Ickis will cast Arcane Explosion, dealing lethal damage to any players within his line of sight. Luckily, there are 4 pillars in the corners of the room, so get behind those when he starts casting. Unfortunately, there's a lot more going on with this fight to make it as simple as running behind some pillars when a multi-second cast starts. Ickis will also polymorph a random player into a sheep, which is wipe-inducing when it hits your tank or healer. This is interruptible, so for the love of all that's Warcraft, please do. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, maybe even subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Links for my social media and whatnot are in the description below, and as for the comment question, what's the rarest mount you ever found in-game? For me, it's probably the Flame Talon of Alice Razor from Firelands. Anyways, that's all the time I've got for today, so until next time, don't die.